Hello and welcome back everyone to the next episode on SAP DataSphere come Data Warehouse Cloud Training with me Anubhav. In our last session, we talked about the concept of working with the graphical views and scripted views. Followed by that, we talked about the fuzzy search and intelligent lookup. We also saw the use case for intelligent lookup, and we also discussed about data marketplace where you can go and search data products, download some of them free or paid version, and then use them in your use case. Towards the end of the class, I was explaining about data sharing cockpit. So if you have an idea to share your data, if you're a research company or want to monetize your data outside the purview of your company, you can use data sharing cockpit. We compare it with a farmer's market. We understand that in a farmer's market, first we have a person who has stalls, authorization to put up the stalls, which is like a data provider profile. And then the person can put multiple stalls, which are equivalent of context management in data provider profile. And then based on that, we register our final products in the data provider profile, which are data products like apple, banana, fish, and chicken. Now, for example, we can have different context management where we can say person who buy a ticket in advance only have access to the animal products. So how you want to give your data products giveaway or allow the audience to access your data products accordingly, you will do the context management. Then we discuss about the basis of license management and publishing management. This is all what we just discussed theoretically. We saw how a data provider profile is created and context management will be important for us. In today's episode, I'm going to show you the creation of data provider profile, also the context management, along with the sharing of data with the license. I have two tenants here. With one tenant, I will create data provider profile and upload my data products. And second tenant, I will proceed further and access that. So you will see across the multiple systems, we'll be able to access things with the license key. Now, before I proceed further, I want to also quickly show you the solution of the last class exercise. I gave an exercise to all of you to implement where you need to utilize a city population data from data marketplace and use your existing sales inflation view which we created. Then perform an intelligent lookup on these two data set to join the data of CT and sales inflation. And then on top of it, create a view to calculate the total revenue or total quantity sold of our product per 1000 people in a population of a city. This was a requirement given to all of you. I'll quickly cover the solution. I've already implemented that in my system. So I will switch over my data builder and show you the solution of that requirement which I have already implemented. So if I go to revenue by city, this is the one I have created as part of the journey. Maybe I think it's a revenue. Let me just check. Yes, I think it's revenue by city. Yes, this is the view I have created. Sales revenue by city. Let me open the view. No, not this one. Let me go back. I just have to search store, I guess. So let me try to see store, revenue store. Yes, this is the one. So if I go in this intelligent lookup and just quickly open that object up over here in a new tab. So first step is to get the data for data product. Data product I already showed you last class, which we need to download to get all the city data. So what I did, I use our data information from the revenue which we created in the previous class, and then I did a fuzzy join, a join with fuzzy data with world cities. You see the world cities I've joined. And then I've got revenue by city. So by just combining our previously created view, I just did a fuzzy search and I've got my revenue, total revenue per city. Now, after I get total revenue per city, I'll utilize this information to calculate the revenue per 1000 people's population. So what I did, I created a view with a function. And in this function, we have created a revenue per 1000. And if I drill down in this, you can see we have written the formula of total revenue divided by population divided by 1000. And I'm rounding this whole thing to a integer. So that is my calculated column I've created on top of the revenue per city. So we did a intelligent lookup basically with the city data product which we downloaded from data marketplace, and combine that with the intelligent lookup to the previously class created view where we are getting the total revenue per city. Yes, so that is what the solution of the last class exercise. So based on this join intelligent lookup, we just simply created this round of value. So that is what was done as an exercise, and I have given the solution accordingly. So it is very straightforward and simple. In case you find issues implementing this, I would request you to give it a try, and you can discuss towards the end of the class by sharing your screen with me also. In case you get stuck, it's a pretty straightforward and easy exercise. Having said that, now we move on to do hands-on for the data sharing cockpit. So I will now demonstrate creating you a data provider profile for my company anubhavtrainings.com, and I will share some data with the public world. So let us go ahead, and the data which I want to share is perhaps the store data. So I will switch over back to tenant 2. This is tenant 2. You see tenant 2 is running in incognito window and tenant 1 is running in a normal window. So I have two tenants here. Yeah, you see this is tenant 1 and this is tenant 2. Tenant means two different accounts of datasphere, completely different accounts of datasphere. So one datasphere account is 874. You see the last four digit 0874, and another datasphere account is uh, 23227. These are two different accounts. So I come to my tenant 2, and here I'll create a data provider profile. So we come down and we first go to data sharing cockpit, and we will create a data sharing profile, which is basically I'm registering on the marketplace as a provider. So I say switch data provider, and it says there are no data providers available at the moment because you don't have any profile. So I will say please create a new profile for me. So here now I will be providing my company profile detail. So first I will upload the logo of my company. So let me go to Insight, go to images, and I will upload Anubhav Training logo over here. I give Anubhav Trainings global homepage URL anubhavtrainings.com, and I would want to show you using perhaps ChatGPT to generate some profile for us. So let me go ahead and use ChatGPT. So I'm just going ahead and creating the ChatGPT. I'm logging into my ChatGPT account, and after I log into my ChatGPT account, I will just generate here the data provider profile, some description. So write a description about best SAP training company Anubhav Trainings. Yeah. So what ChatGPT does, it creates a small article for me out of the box, which is kind of very time saving for me to be able to generate description. So this is how I optimize my day-to-day work with ChatGPT. I copy and I switch over back to my data provider profile and paste the description. Of course, you got to read it before you do it, but you can see here I've added an overview about my data provider profile. Now, my data provider profile, what kind of company I am and what kind of data categories I offer. Yeah, all those data categories I need to put in here. So for example, I offer industry specific data, innovation and trends. I offer data related to companies, or maybe the sales, political data, product and service data, public sector data, society data. These are the different data categories I do offer. Remember, the Joe is offering animal products as well as fruits and vegetable. What are the businesses the Joe has? So these are the data categories. Now, what is my marketplace visibility of this profile? I want to make it public so you all can see when you guys are using and practicing and doing the training. You can search my profile actually. Then, which are the SAP application I deal with? I can add additionally. What is the country? I say India. What is the zip code? Let's say I give 1222012. What is the SAP email ID? Are you have an SAP email ID? No. Do you have a personal email ID? Yes. So I will enter my personal email ID, and then I will also add my LinkedIn profile. So let me enter that, my LinkedIn profile, by going to another window and capturing my LinkedIn profile. So that's my LinkedIn profile, and I will copy and capture that and paste that over here. Perfect. So what is the data shipment? It will be a integrated delivery through directly with the data sphere. Yes, it's not a SQL or external delivery with Excel. What is the city? Let's say Gurgaon. Address, I want to give a address, let's say uh, MG Road near DLF Cyber Hub, and we can give address, phone number, all the details I can give. Mandatory detail only I'm giving, and I save my changes. So this is my data provider profile. I just registered myself as a provider that I will be offering services on DataSphere. Yeah, this is step number one. Now I can add the user manage access keys. So I only people who have access keys will be able to access my data provider profile. So I can generate many access keys like that. So let me generate one more access key, or maybe I'll say three access key, and this is free offering by SAP. And you can see whether this access key is being used right now or not. So I will copy one of the access key and keep it DP access key, data provider profile access key. I can easily check whether this access key I emailed to who and did they use it or not. Yeah. So that way I can also check them. So I click on close. Maybe I copy everything to, yeah. So to following keys can be used to become a member of data provider profile, which means if you want to contribute to my data provider profile, these are the keys you guys can use to start contributing to my profile. Now I click on close. Profile is created. What is the next step is to create a context. So you see right now there are no data and no views. So I'm going to go to again data sharing cockpit, and now I will go to my context. So I will be creating a context now. So I will just go to context management. So what kind of data products I offer and how will be the lifespan for those data products, and who will be able to access these contacts that I can maintain here. Now at the moment you see it doesn't allow me to create a new context. There is a default context which is automatically created by the system, and everything whatever I want I need to do it inside. You can see the create button is grayed out. Why? Because we are using SAP experience account. But if we use a free tire account, or we use a productive account, then we can create a context over here. Now I am a UI5 hacker also. So I am a UI5 developer basically. So this entire screen is built using UI5. For time being, I can just try my hacking techniques to kind of enable that create button, just to show you how the screen would look like. So don't try this at home. I am just doing it because I have a good experience in working with SAP UI5. Yeah. So that's why I can do these things and show it to you. So I go inside, I use my UI5 skill. Some of you have already taken my UI5 training. You guys know what am I doing, and you can try that out if you want. So I will just basically have access the button object using the code and make it enabled. Yes, you see, I did a kind of small hack to make that button enable just to show you guys. Yeah, my intentions are just to show you how it looks, things looks. So I click on create, and now a pop-up comes where I can enter my context. So I can say data products related to, let's say, supermarket store data, supermarket sales. So this context is for supermarket sales data, volume, products, etc. The type is it's a data shop, and I can say that who or all the people can only access this context. So which means people coming from, let's say, IBM.com, or people coming from SAP.com, people coming from EY.in, people coming from gmail.com. So anyone whose email ID is ending with this or this or this or this, only they can access this context data. Nice, nice. If I leave it empty, which means everybody can access my data. I can also have set an expiry date that this data provider contacts will expire on this particular date, and after that it will be hidden from the SAP data marketplace automatically. So because there is a lifespan of a data, let's say cryptocurrency prices or stock market prices, perhaps there is a lifespan till when analysis on this data will be useful, after which the data is kind of outdated. So I can put a valid until date. So this way I can add a context like animal products, fruits and vegetables, staples, grains. I can register multiple contexts just the way you register multiple businesses and shops on a marketplace. So that is about the profile I can create. I don't want to create because it will hang everything. It will not ultimately it will not create. It was just to show you how this screen look like. And I'm happy with the public data marketplace standard context which is already added to my profile. Now once the context is added, what is the next step? Adding data products. So we will now go back next, and I go to my data products, and we will be now creating our data products. So it is mandatory that you should have the data in terms of tables and views present in your datasphere tenant. So I create now a new product, and we can provide here the product name. So I want to show the supermarket sales data, and I can just again generate some description using chat GPT. So generate a description of data products related to sales of supermarket. So chat GPT will generate, you see, it is just generating something nice. So I can now use copy this information. That's great thing. A lot of content writing I was earlier paying to freelancing consultant $5, $10 to do write content, and now this content writing is done by chat GPT. You can see why chat GPT is going to eat up the job. It is going to eat up a lot of jobs for many people in industry. Yes, this is the benefit of ChatGPT. Now no images have been uploaded, so I will upload an image of my data product. I've already got an image, so I go to DataSphere. This is my screenshot of the sample data, and I will also upload the sample data screenshot. So go to DataSphere, data kits. Okay, sample data I need to upload. So I need to create a JSON out of my sample data. So I don't have right now, it's okay. Data category, what it is. So it is a company data, or do we have sales, product and service data? Okay. Now it's a integrated delivery industry. Which industry it is? It is retail. I think consumer industry retail. Yes, here it is. SAP application. Which application it is fetched from? Coverage, context. So I choose my public data marketplace context. So this data product will be registered under that, and it's a delivery mode is full replication is allowed for this data, and the size category is a medium size data. Around 1000 records are there. Product ID, let's say supermarket underscore sales 001, something like that. And then no additional document have been uploaded, it's okay. Pricing, what's the pricing? This is important. Is it free or is it a license key? So I want to show you guys that it should be powered by license key, because this way you can, even the price is zero, you can still give them access only through the license key. So in case you would want to publicly share your data, you go with free. But in case you still want it to be free, but only people who you give the license key can access your data, then you go with the license key. Now pricing description, so you can put some pricing description. Generate pricing of my data product for pricing as free but need license key. So it will generate a description now. Introducing game changer approach for valuable insight on data product sales data inside. Yeah, something it is generating. Yeah, and I just copy and add that. I'm not reading the text, but just showing you that how can you use ChatGPT. Pricing model, it is one time price, and I'll say price is $0. So I'm going to give it free, but still people would need the license, and I will give here my domain name. Contact us for free license key on contact@anubotrainings.com. That's our official email ID, and the description is, I guess, too big to be accommodated, so I will just remove some part. Okay, now terms and condition, no legal documents, no data documentation, it's okay, I don't want, it's self-explanatory. Artifact space, so I choose my space where the artifact is, and now I will add here my data product which I want to share. So we want to share whatever data, all that has to be present here. So I click on plus button, and voila, look at this, I've got all my views and all my content. So I will be using store data, this one, add, I can add multiple, and I will be also adding the view sales inflation data which we created in the last episode. So these two views I'm adding, and you see all the elements we are including. You can exclude some elements if you want also, and that is how you create your first data product. Awesome stuff. Now you see it is costing zero. Its life cycle is draft. Currently I'm still creating it. I save it. I'm happy. And the best news is you all will be able to access it if I give you the license key, which I will generate in a moment. So now I am saving my data product, which is going to register this data product online. So it is just taking time to create. You see, this is how it look like when somebody look your data product, and I change the status to list now. So please list it on the marketplace. So I change it to list. There are no data releases with the product, you need to add first. Okay, I need to data releases. So I need to go to edit. It was giving me an error. So I have added already the content. Why it is not accepting it? Let me check the I button. You can add as many data artifact as you like one time. Once added, you can select with the column you want to ship and apply the restriction. Okay, I don't want to give restriction. Ideally, it should allow me to list now. But before we do, I think delivery pattern release. Do we have any release thing? No, we don't have any release thing. Everything looks good. It should allow me to list. Let me go back on the top, save. So next I will be creating a license key. Yes, only then I can list it. I can't list it right now. I need to create a license key. So I go back and I go to license management so that I can list my product with these licenses. And now I will create a license. So you can, if you have multiple data provider profile, you can switch between them also. Let's say I have multiple shops, I can switch between them. So now I click on create license. I say for say supermarket sales, Anubhav trainings, domain. I don't want to give a domain or no validity. Click on create. And now inside this, I will be creating the licenses. Yes. So let's create the license. So now what we will do is we will just go here and you can see that we have created the license draft state. So what I will do now, I will just go ahead and add some licenses. So what is the license scope? It is supermarket sales store. That is the scope. Anyone who have this license which I am creating now will have access to this particular data product. So that is the scope of my license. And now we can just generate the license. So we need to first save it, save the draft, and then we need to generate the license key. So let me generate maybe 10 license keys. In fact, let me put these license keys in the PPT. So when you guys are practicing, at the time when you practice, if you are practicing maybe within next 2 to 3 days, you guys can use my license keys to access my data. I'm putting all license keys in the PPT. So one of them I will use to demonstrate you. Rest all I'm putting there. So you guys can go and search my data product by my license. I will now click on activate. So these license keys are now activated. Anyone who have this license key, they will be able to access my data product supermarket store data, which we just registered. Yes. Now, of course, we have to go back and list our product. So go to data products and go inside. And now we will be listing our data product on the marketplace. So please click on list. There are no data releases with the product. You need to add it first. Data releases. Where is data releases? It is not showing. Switch status. It is not allowing me to do this release. Yes. It's not showing anything. Let me check if we are missing something on the profile. Let's go to publishing management. Why it is not allowing me to list? It's not logged. Okay, go to my profile. Is this data profile active? I think I've not activated my data provider profile. In case you have an activation key become part of data provider profile, I think I need to enter my own key over here to add myself, my user as part of it. Okay, I already have access. Good. So let me just see release management. Is there something called release management which we supposed to enter? It's not showing anything. Public, private, internal, app ID, SAP, mail ID. So whatever mandatory things were there, we gave. So there's something wrong. Let me just go back again to my data product. It must allow me to list it actually. Let me try from here. There are no data releases with product. You need to add first. What is data releases? There's some setting which we are missing. Let's explore data release setting. Something related to data release setting we need to check. Sample data, okay, product, get details, industry, SAP application. Let me add something. Delivery pattern, I say it's a yearly delivery. I think that's a release pattern, guys, which was none earlier. Regional coverage, I don't want to give anything, or maybe let me give, yeah, something. Delivery pattern description, size category, marketplace. I guess that was the setting, delivery pattern. We give yearly. Contract type is license key. Okay. One time, zero, USD, terms and condition, artifact. And I guess that was the only setting which I was missing. Delivery pattern. Hopefully it should allow me to list. Let's see. Because there is nothing called release cycle here as such. So it should allow me to list my data product. Okay, it's not showing. Let me just check, guys. What is this issue? So this could be a bug with the data sphere. Okay, let me try to create another. Yeah, I'll create another. Yeah, I'll create another. So I say supermarket sales. I just bring in description. No images for the data, and sample content I don't have. Data category, let's say benchmarking data. Industry, let's say consumer. SAP application, digital supply chain. Integrated delivery, one time replication. Size category is medium. Context is data marketplace context. Product ID PRD001. No document. License key required. Pricing model one time, €0. URL to purchase license key. Please mail for free license key. And I will just choose my space from where I need to get the data. And I will now add my inflation data for view sales and save. Okay. So I just repeated the another data product because I believe the first one which we did, there's some bug, it is not accepting it. So I just repeated the whole process again. Let's give it a try. I believe this could be issue with my tenant. This could be a bug behind from the backend side because I followed the same process multiple time in the past and it used to work. Now you see users overview, no active license, no expiration license, no recent activation. It's okay. Let me switch to list. Yes, you see, do you want to change lifecycle status to listed? Yes, now you see error is not coming. It's gone. So it's a temporary issue. And you see it is listing my data product. Wow. So it that was a temporary issue with the first data product which we added. Okay, so it is listing now. And of course, we need to create a set of license again for this particular data product, supermarket sales. Okay, so you see it is taking time to list. Let it list. In the meanwhile, okay, it's done. It's done, guys. It's done. Congratulations. It is listed now. So let me go to license management, and I already have created a set of license. In this license, I will now go and change and add the scope supermarket sales also in the scope. Okay, both I'm adding, and with the same license keys, it will work. So I save it, and now we are done. So as a provider, as a company, data sharing company, I have created a profile, a context and data product, and then license I have created. And using this license, I am just proceeding further, utilizing this license to share the data with the entire datasphere community, so everybody can use this data. Yes, so now what I will do as a next step, so as a next step I am going to proceed further, and I will go to another tenant. Now assume I am a company Anubhav Training which provide the data. Now let's imagine your company. You log into your DataSphere system. So how do you access my data now? Yes, how do you do that? So to be able to do that now, you will log in to your tenant. So I'm switching my account now to another tenant. This is the another tenant, another user you see, completely different place, completely different company, country. Yes, you are unaware that I am a data provider. Now what do? You go and explore. So you go to data marketplace and go to landing page, and now you search here supermarket or store data. Are there anyone who is providing supermarket or store data or not? Or you search by Anubhav Training directly. You know my company name, Anubhav Trainings. So you see supermarket sales data with Anubhav Training global. Wow. Wow, I am loving it. So now I click on that, and you see my data product is visible. In fact, you guys can try it out after the class. Go to your SAP DataSphere account and you guys will be able to easily find my product. Yes. So remember Anubhav Training Global. If you click here, it takes you to my website, hopefully. It takes you to the profile, and from there it will take you to the website also. You see the website and my profile. Yes. So that is my profile. You can view who is this company, and then at the down you see the screenshot of data. See, everything is over here. And now if I want to access this data, what I want, I need to enter the license key and access it. Now one more catch here, guys, one more catch. The catch is in the experience account you can't access this. Why? Look at that. You see button is not there. So few minutes ago when I showed you, or in the last class I showed you, there was a button called load for free. If you remember, there was a button called load for free, and you will be able to access the data which is registered by other people. So here you see now Anubhav have listed a new data product. You are able to see, but you can't access. Why? Because this data product is listed via experience account. So you cannot access because experience account, they are trial. They are for 30 days. After 30 days, this will get deleted. So at the moment, SAP do not allow you to access my data provider key, but I have a hack. Since I am a UI5 architect, I know how to hack the UI5 screens. So I'll just do something fishy, yeah, to somehow make that button visible to you. Yeah. So I will make the button visible for all of you. So I will go inside this toolbar ID and I will make the button visible. So I'll say SAP UI get. You don't try this at home. I'm just showing you, sensitizing you that how it can be done. Some features are disabled, but I'm using a hack to make them enabled. So the get items. So basically there is a toolbar, in that there is a button and then set visible. The button is hidden. So I'm writing some code and you see, I hacked the screen. That's the power of knowledge. I can bet you no trainer can do that as of now, because they have half knowledge. I have knowledge across all product lines of SAP. SAP UI5, CDS views, AMDP, ABAP on HANA, S4 HANA, RAP, CAP, BTP, everything, BW. I have knowledge across the technologies. So that knowledge will help me to actually show you some extra stuff. So this is a code. In fact, I'll put this code in the PPT. In case you want to try, you can press F12, go to console, put this code, paste and enter. When you see my data provider profile, the button will come. So I did a hack. This is a hacking actually into the system, through which we enable the button actually. Okay. But again, ideally we should go with the correct path, correct way of doing things. But unfortunately, since SAP doesn't allow many features, I have to do these hacks to get the work done, to show you guys the real stuff. So now I go to load with license fee. I click the button and it will ask me the license key. Look at that. Wow. Yes. And of course, remember the license key. These are the license key if you want to access my data. So I'll take one of them. So one of them was this one, and I go back and I enter the license key and I say activate the key. Yes. And now I press F4. I use my space in which I want to download Anubhav trainings data content which Anubhav have created, and say load product. Clear everyone? How somebody will access my data which I just listed in this class with you, and the other people can go enter the license key and load my data products. Yes. Though the button was not enabled, I did some hacking, and through the hacking, I made the button enabled. And with the help of that, I am able to demonstrate you things even in the experience account, even though I don't have a productive account, even though I don't have a company account. I have, but I don't want to open my company account because my company account have a lot of sensitive information. I don't want to compromise with my integrity of my company. But ultimately, you can see this is exactly how we can load the data product. So I am only supplier and I am only consumer here. But later on, when you guys practice, you guys can also check by searching my data product in your tenant. You will be able to find it, guys. And then you can use the hack which I showed you. If you want to practice, you can say load with license key. All the license keys I'm giving it to you for my data product to all of you. Maybe some student will use this one, then you have to try this one, like that. If you want to practice this topic, if you don't want to practice this topic, it is also fine. You may be understood the topic in detail and you can utilize it. So trial account cannot find the but so trial account can find my profile. You guys can search in your trial account, you will be able to find it, but you won't be able to load it. This button will not come to load it. Okay, this button will not come to load it. You will be able to find it, but the button will not come to load it. So to, yeah, it will take a lot of time because it is contacting the data provider. It is downloading the data, creating the table, creating the structure, doing the validation, checking if the table already exists, all sorts of stuff it is doing. It will take time. It will take time, but ultimately it will load. But that's not the goal. The goal here is to understand the process. Is the process clear to everybody? Yes or no? Understand, the goal is very clear. Is the process clear to all of you? What is data provider cockpit and what is data marketplace? How do you register your data products? Create context, register your data product, list them, and create licenses to be shared with people to load it. And then how will your consumer will find your data source, data product, and load them in their tenant. That is what the goal here is. The goal is not to actually use this data, because data is nothing, is just a data product, right? It's just a table. But the goal here was to understand the process, how the data sharing and data access will work. That is the goal of this session. Yeah. So that button you see in the trial account, they don't show the button. You can search my, now also you can search during the break. You can go and search Anubhav Training Supermarket Sales. You will find it. 100% you will find it, because I have registered it as a global data provider profile now. So that is it for this part of the session. We have learned about how to work with data marketplace and how to also register your own data products. Give it a try, create two accounts, and then you can also try between them, or ask your friends to see if you registered your data profile. Yeah. Now with the deletion of these experience accounts after 1 month, your data provider profile and data products and contacts will also get deleted. As it's a training system, things will get deleted automatically once they decommission your trial account or experience account. Yes. Okay, so now let's take a break here, and after the quick break we will resume our session with the business builder, the very very important topic. You've been asking, many of you been asking, Anubhav, what is business builder, why do we use it? So with the practical use case we will learn what is business builder. So we'll take a short break and come back after the short break. All right, welcome back after the short break. Let's proceed further now and talk about the business builder layer. Now, I have already covered a brief about business builder layer in the past. I told you that when we want to develop applications in DataSphere, we would want to make sure that the technical people focus on the data builder, and the business people with the business skill, they focus on the business builder. It's a isolated layer which is focusing more on your calculation and your computation related to business needs, without really worrying about where, how the data is being created. So a data builder expert will know the connections, remote systems, data flows, replication flows, task chains. But the business expert or the business consultant would not need to know all the technicality of the data. The business builder will be used by business experts without any coding skill or technical skill to build the business objects according to their needs in an isolated way, without really thinking about how the underlying data was fetched, so that they can build the business layer business objects according to their requirement for their consumption in analytics cloud. Now let's cover a brief about the business builder, and then we will look at our use case. As it's a real time training, we will look at a practical use case to understand and work with the business builder layer. So what is business builder layer? This is the official definition from the official SAP documentation. SAP Datasphere has two modeling layer tailored for different user group. Data layer area where data engineer create their models with a technical approach, whereas the business layer is the area of business user who create their model using more semantic approach. This allows business users to work independently from data engineers while still being able to collaborate and share data between them. The collaboration between business user and data engineer changes fundamentally. Data engineers can focus on data consolidation, data provisioning, while business users can optimize their business models. The IT infrastructure on the data layer is usually more volatile than the need of business user. The reason for changes are manifold: system updates, software changes, acquisitions, and so on. All these lead to the fact that data layer changes permanently and needs adjustment. Business definitions, on the other hand, stay relatively stable. They do not change frequently. For example, calculation of KPI of a margin. So usually when you look at a company, guys, that your data, your sources keeps on changing. Today you're taking from BW, tomorrow from S4, tomorrow let's say table change, column change. You have lot of changes in data layer. Now, if you do lot of changes, the consumer will get affected because of that. So to abstract our consumer, we would have a business layer in the middle. The business layer remains pretty stable over a period of time. Even though your underlying data layer changes with significant number of change, still your business consumption layer will not be impacted because business layer provides that abstraction for your data layer and consumer. So that is the benefit of using the business layer. Now, what is the main part of a business builder? What it contains and what are the characteristics? So to keep business layer more robust while continuously modifying data layer, business layer is loosely coupled to data layer. The layers can be mapped and remapped at any point of time without the need for modifying the business model themselves. The data model can be upgraded and remapped to business model. What are the key characteristics of separating IT driven modeling from business oriented modeling? So what are the why are we doing this? So point one, we want to enable business user to model their business scenario without knowing the underlying data model. So the business builder is mainly for business experts. Those are not technical people. So we are technical people, but business people may be not technical so much. They can still use business builder. It is self-service monitoring or self-service modeling for line of businesses. It hides data complexity through the business language and terminologies. Suppose I've got the data from BW with the replication flow and the table contains a field called EBELN. So as a technical consultant, I know what is EBELN. It's purchase order number. But a business person doesn't know that. So what they can do, they can create aliases, documentation. Yes, they can put meaningful description and name for your according to business terminology and hide the data complexity and complex technical information through business layer. One business catalog as a central entry point for business definition independent of modeling layer. It builds a stable semantic layer for all consumers and customers. Flexibly, it changes the underlying data layer when needed. That is the change in storage technology without disrupting the consumer. So that is the best idea, that once you have a layer in the middle between the consumer and your data, if your data layer change, your consumer will not no need to adapt that change because you have the business layer in the middle which is keeping it stable. So that is the biggest benefit we get when we use the business builder and business layer. Now what does the business builder specifically do? SAP Datasphere Business Builder is a designated tool for modeling the object of business layer. Business user can define business model in the business builder, which are separate from the physical data layer. They can create model on top and map them to data layer. Business layer can be used to expose business users to data fields they need while hiding any data field that might not be relevant. Business user can create different business entities like dimension, fact model. So dimension are nothing but master data, fact model, pure transaction data on top of data layer. And then on top, they can create consumption model on the basis of data consumption. On top consumption model, perspectives can be defined to serve as an interface for user data or to use the data in analytics cloud. So perspective is very important. Once you create a consumption model, you can define different perspectives on same consumption model. Let's say sales by sales org, sales by customer, sales by country, sales by product group, sales by product category, sales by sales organization. Those are perspectives. So they are built on top of same consumption model. Consumption model and perspectives will replace the new analytic model. So this will be eventually getting replaced by analytic model. Now, I will teach you business builder. I will teach you all this. But one important thing to note, that eventually what is doing, they've introduced analytic model in 2023, and that is a replacement for the consumption model. So I will teach you consumption model as they are still there in the system, but eventually they will be overwritten by analytical model which we already learned. And to understand that, you need to also refer one blog provided by SAP expert, SAP product expert. Here is the blog. I'm putting the link in the PPT notes, but let me open that for you. So that is up to date information. This was published in 2023. You see 2023, 28th March. He is a product expert on DataSphere. So what he's highlighting is that eventually going forward, the analytical model will be the only go-to way to consume in analytics cloud. You see, based on the four key function we have shown analytical model offer multiple new function for data builder compared to the business builder. However, advantages are very limited and disadvantages are fundamental in form of missing function. So what he is telling in this blog ultimately that the analytical model which you learned, yeah, will be the choice or will be the go-to market choice which will replace in a longer run the business builder layer. You see, data builder will be replaced with that object from. So ultimately if you read this block you will realize that going forward we will be only using analytical model and this business builder consumption model will go away. However, as a trainer, since it is still there, it is my duty to teach you with one example of how people use. You see, this business layer, we have the consumption model which is getting replaced here with the analytical model which we created. Yeah. So analytical model will replace the consumption model. But the goal of today's class is to learn the consumption model in business builder layer. Yeah, that's our goal. We already learned analytical model in the past, but SAP is telling analytical model are the future. Okay, so stick to analytical model is a good idea. However, let me go back and now show you creating a consumption model and perspective also as part of this training, because as of now it is still there in the system. SAP have not removed it. So we should know at least how to work with it and use it. So what's my use case? So I am working as a senior lead architect on in a bike company. So this is a demo company. It's a dummy company I created as imagination to understand a real-time business use case. So you're working as a senior lead architect in a bike sales company, which is selling different bikes like mountaineer bikes, yes, normal plain bikes, racing bikes. You are making manufacturing multiple different variety of bikes. That is where you are working as a lead architect. Your focus area is SAP DataSphere and sales area. You have been asked to analyze sales of bikes last year to date. So first requirement is we need to find sales of bike last year to date and year to date. It's called YTD and LYTD. These are standard calculation in business which we typically perform in companies. So I explain you what is YTD in a simple way. So if you look at a share price, let's say I go and check a share price of a company, let's say Tata Motors share. So you see Tata Motor share price is one day it was declined 1%. Yeah, this is one day. If I say 5 day, 2%. If I say 1 month, 6%. Yeah, this is the share price of Tata Motor. But if I say YTD means this year starting 1st of January 2023 till now. YTD. It's called YTD. It is up 52%. YTD. So, and 1 year means, so today is 27th August. So last year 27th August till now. Yeah. So YTD means year to date. 1st of January onwards till now. Year to date. YTD. That's called YTD calculation. And if I say last year to date, which means last year, 1st January of last year till today's date, what's the total sales? So this is what we want to analyze. This is our first requirement. Second requirement, we want to find that what was planned for sales, how much of that is achieved this year. Basically, compare planned versus actual data of sales. So every company does planning. They plan for the sales. Let's say your company might have also given you some target that if you're a salesperson, you need to sell 1 crore of products. That's your sales target. So they will compare what was planned, is it done or not done. Yeah. So I have sales plan data, planning data, and sales actual data, actual sales figures for 2022 and 2023 for each product. So we want to compare what was planned versus what was achieved so far per, let's say, per product group or per year or per product group. I want to compare. These are my common requirements. Use case is clear. So what are the tables do we have? So we have multiple tables. I will be sharing this as part of data cockpit, as part of data kit with all of you. So this is the data set called business layer folder. We have customers who buy the bikes. We have product group. We have different product segment in which you're dealing the business. So we have cruise bike, mountain bike, racing bike, and youth bike. These are the types of bikes we have as a different product group. Okay. Then we have the products data, of course, based on these product groups. We have the actual sales data. What was the actual sales made this year in the company? That is the information, we have it with us. Followed by that, we have the planned data. The planned data will tell you the planning. How much was planned this year? Suppose you plan to make $100 billion this year. And out of that $100 billion, you plan to make how many, how much of the sales you made per product, per group, per product ID, like that. Okay. And then we have the sales organization. This is our data set. So I will quickly upload this data now to Datasphere, and you can clearly make out these are the two transaction data and rest all the master data. So this will be shared also as part of study material with all of you. You guys can accordingly replicate and start creating the model. So first we will create the data builder just to create database table. Then we will build the business layer with the dimensions and measures and facts, and then finally create a consumption model for our use case. So first step is, as you all know, data builder, to go and build the tables. So I'm going to go back to data builder and quickly start creating tables. Now one great thing I can do is I can actually go back and create multiple session. So let me do 2, 3, and 4, and maybe 5. So I'm creating 5 parallel session so that I can quickly start creating 5 different data sets. So in the first session, I'll create a table. Second session, by the time it's loading, I create a table. Third session, I create a table. Fourth session, I will start uploading the data. So parallelly, since it is taking time in every session, parallelly, I will start uploading. So here, I will start uploading business layer, my actual data on one side, it's uploading. Here, I'll upload my, so this way I can speed up my work. Plan data, I upload. And on the other side, I'll start creating table, bike products. I will have the product ID. I will have the product name and product group. It will be a dimension data set. Product ID will be key, and we will map product name as a key. That is my first dimension. Let's deploy the table as bike products. In the second session, I'll create bike product group. I will just go ahead and add product group ID and product group name. I will create it this also a dimension. Key will be, let's say, 40 characters, and this will be a text. Associate the text. It will be a dimension. Mark it product ID as a key and deploy. So I just have to also make it 40 character as a primary key, and this also 40 character. So that's a correct data size. So that is my product table. Parallelly, the bike group table is getting created. Let's create bike customer table. I will make it dimension already. Add customer ID, character 40, customer name, and customer type. Is it retail customer, wholesale customer? What type of customer it is? Make customer ID as a key and deploy the table. So see, parallelly, I'm working with multiple sessions. So in the first session, I'll start uploading the product data. Choose the file, product data. It is now importing. Let it import. In the second session, I'll import the product groups. So that this way I can speed up my work because you all are comfortable already creating table. I'm just speeding up my work with multiple tabs. Customer data. Also, I'm uploading really quick. Import. So here it is the data which is also ready. No key here. It's okay. Click on deploy directly. Actual sales data and plan data for bike sales. Yes. So that is done. This is also uploaded. Uploaded. Let me also create another table, last table, master data table. And that one is my sales organization. So bike sales org table. It's again a dimension, sales organization ID as a key, sales org name. This one is 40 character as a key. This is a text associates with the text. Click on deploy. And then of course deploy the data. So we quickly created all the tables, 2 transaction table and 4 master data table with the help of multiple sessions working together. You see, and now you can also cross check the bike and you will find all your tables. Wow. Wow, Anubhav. Wow. Yes. Let's upload the sales org data, sales organization. Okay, done. So now we've got our data builder layer ready, which we already comfortable and many time we have done that also. Nothing new, just created the tables for master and transaction data. Our next step will be to go ahead to the business builder layer and start creating dimension. So first I always start with master data. So let's switch over to business builder. Let's say I am a developer who's a technical consultant. I developed the business builder layer and left it. Now there's another person in my company. His name is Jack. Now what Jack Dawson does, he will come to the company, he will come to his office, and he's a business expert. So he will start creating the business builder layer. So here when it comes, we have a new dimension option and we can choose our existing dimension. So one by one, I will create all the dimension including product group, product, customer, and sales org. So let's create first for product group. You see it is automatically appending a name. BE means business entity for product group. Click on create. Would you like to choose and get key attributes and definition, all the properties from the underlying data model? Answer is yes. Please go ahead. So I created my first dimension, which is product group. Now on a very similar note, you can also check here attributes. You can see the key for the product definition. That's good. Let's go back again. Let's create the next dimension, which is product. So now next dimension is product. Click on create. So as a business builder consultant, you are just using what the data builder have created. So one person, Anubhav, working as a technical consultant, datasphere consultant, who created the data builder, who created the data. I'm just reusing that as a business builder. So this is all we have. Now we add association because product group from my table associates with the product group table. So I choose product group. There's a join and my field in the product table is product group. So this field joins to the primary key, which is product ID in the product group table. That's association. I can additionally create hierarchies also. So I give a context name, product group. You can follow the session exactly same manner, the way I'm showing it to you. Yes, that we can do. So now I've got the product group association. I go to hierarchy. I can create a hierarchy also. And I can create a hierarchy if I want for all the entities I want to choose. Right now it's okay. That is my product business layer. Let's go back and create the next one, customer. New dimension. We choose customer. Click on create. Yes, I want everything to copy from the data builder layer. This is also created. Let's go back, create the next dimension, sales organization. So I'm reusing the data builder to build my dimension over here. Great stuff, great stuff. Done. All four are done. Now it's time to build the fact. So what is fact? It's your pure transaction data. So let's create the business entity for fact based on actual data of sales and planned data for sales. So I open the fact. I choose sales data actual. It is creating actual sales data. Yes. And now here you see the status. So is it under process, is validation or is in use? So there are different workflows which we can choose. Suppose within the business builder team, there are three more consultants. One person who just create the initial business builder, second person who reviews it, and third person who is going to consume it. So we can actually follow the workflow here. So after you finish editing, after you finish creating entire business builder layer, the fact you can make it ready to use. So other person in your business team, when they come here, they can know what's the status of this object. Can this object is be used or not? That's kind of a documentation you can follow across. So now we add association with our master data. So I can click on plus button and one by one, I'll choose my business entity which are my master data. So I associate with customer first, with the customer ID. That's my first association. Context name is by customers. It's basically getting the relevant master data for us. Next, we'll add another one, associate with the product data based on product ID and say bike products. Click on save. Let's add the next one, F4. We choose the sales organization as my next association. I choose sales org ID and I say bike sales org. Save. I would also want to create a dimension for the date. So let's go to business builder layer and also create one more dimension for the days data. So we open to create a new dimension. Date is also dimension, as you all know. I've taught you in the early days of this training, and I'll search for day. Here it is. Let's create a day dimension because I want to also join with this. The day dimension is created. I can switch over back, add another association with the days dimension. So here it is. We map it with the current date field and I say dates so that we can analyze data based on year and all the year to date calculation of course. Done. So now you see we've got all the four association. We are happy with our fact data. We can now proceed to data preview. To just quickly see our total sales for our data. Now you see there is a problem. Perspective field is nothing because we have not marked any of our measure yet. So I need to go and mark my measures also. So let's go to measures and add the measure. You can create a new measure from scratch or you can choose the measure from the underlying table. Also, you can go to the attributes and to the fact model, we will add all the attributes from our underlying table except actual sale, which is a measure. And now we can proceed to the data preview. So this will, the fact will allow us to aggregate the data. Okay. It will aggregate the data. So I go to data preview and you see it is aggregating. For this customer in 2023, what was the total sales? Yeah. I will exclude the date, remove from the perspective. Now it will show total sales per customer. Automatically it is aggregating. This is the total sales per customer. I will also go back and I can see here the total sales per year. So we can expand here. You see all the date dimension and I can just go back and maybe just remove the date and I will just drag and drop the year. So this year I will take, add it to perspective. So what was the total sales per customer in each year? We will get to know. You see, for this customer in 2022, what was the sales? You can also sort the data here. You can also go to advanced area where you can apply expressions and filters to view your data. Yes, you can say where customer ID is this and this and this, like that you can add. So this is how you can build your first fact for the actual sales. This is the actual sales what happened in the company. Now I want to also show actual sales per year for each product category. So expand the product group, expand further association and add product group ID also to the perspective. So we got product group ID. I'll hide the customer. Now we will see total sales in each year per product group ID. Actual sales. Yeah. Okay, I have to also add the product ID once because that is a joining criteria to the perspective. So I have product ID, and per product ID, what was the actual sales I have here. Now I will unhide the group ID. So I will get my product group ID, you see, and then I will hide the product ID so that I will know the actual sales per product group. So you see, mountain bike sold this much, cruise bike sold this much, youth bike sold this much, and racing bike sold this much. Wow, superb. So this is how we can create our fact model and analyze our data with the different dimension. It is doing the total automatically aggregating. Now, the requirement was first requirement was to calculate last year to date sales actual and year to date sales actual. That was the first requirement. So for that, now we will add a calculated measure. So let's switch over back and we will go to measures, and I will be calculating a new measure. Let's call this as last year to date sales. Last year to date. LYTD. Last year to date. LYTD. And now this will be a restricted measure where I will be restricting my sales based on a restriction. So I go to advanced formula and I can write a restriction over here. I will add an element that my date should be greater than equals to my date. Yes. So we will add a value 1/1/2022. It should be greater than this, and the date should be less than equal to today's days. So I'll just save it till here. And to know the today's date, I need to add a attribute. So let me add an attribute first to show today's date. So let's call it as today. And this will be a attribute calculated with now. Now what is now? Now is a built-in function in HANA which will actually tell you the current date, today's date. Yeah. So I've created that. I click on save. This today's date, because tomorrow this date will be changing. Next date will be changing. So I don't want to hard code my date. So that's why I created this. Now I go back and create my calculated measure. Last year to date. It's a restricted measure where I will restrict my sales based on a advanced formula in which I check if the date is greater than equal to 2021, sorry, 2022, and the date is less than equal to today's date, and today's date is now a element which is today's date, which is a formula. You see my formula is valid. So this is a new restricted measure to calculate last year to date sales. Wow, wow, superb. Now I click on save. My LYTD calculation is added. Let's add a calculation YTD, year to date. I, again, it's a restricted measure, actual sales, where actual sales date is less than equal to today's date. There's a problem in the formula builder
Anubhav,
actually.
can we make it a dynamic?
And date is equal to, something is wrong with SAP. This formula builder I don't like. It's not good sometime. You see, this is a serious bug actually. SAP need to improve experience. It is a serious bug, you see. I don't like this formula builder. It has some serious issues. Okay, now it's correct. So where date is less than today's date and the date is greater than equal to current year. So I will say 2 year. Yes. So till today's date, starting this year, show me the sales. That is year to date sales. Wow. Save it. One more calculation. I will calculate a difference between last year to date sales and today year to date sales. I want to calculate a difference for that also. So that will be another calculated measure. Difference. It will be a calculated column where I'll say last year to date sales minus year to date sales. Wow. Beautiful. Save it. And now you can go to data preview to check these newly added measures. So I'm going to switch over to data preview and I want to know for every customer what's the status. So I'll hide that. I'll keep the date, no problem. And I will add also to my perspective the last year to date and year to date. So now you will see that for every customer as of 2023, you see September. So now we are still not in September. You see it is coming 0, which is okay. But you see as of June 2023, the last year to date sales as of 1st June was this, which is this, and year to date is this. Yeah. So this is how the calculation can be carried out depending on the requirement. And the difference is also getting calculated here. Superb. Awesome stuff. So this is how we can calculate YTD and LYTD calculations within DataSphere. The same can be then reused within SAP Analytics Cloud when you expose this out. Yeah, maybe I just also keep it like this and say you can change formulas when you want. So that was my first fact definition of actual business data, how my business is actually doing right now. Now I want to use the fact data also. So let us go ahead and create a fact data. So I'm going to switch over back and I will create a fact data for plan data. So let's do the plan. So I'm going to come down and we will do the plan data. So I will create a fact with the plan data. Click create. Same process. I will repeat the same process as it is what I just showed you. Go to measures, add my measure, plan sales, what was planned in the company. Go to attributes, select attributes, and start adding the association. We had 4 associations which we need to add one by one. So my first association is with the products, product dimension or customer, let's say. Let's use customer, it's okay. And choose customer ID is the join criteria by customers. Next association is with the products. Product ID is the join criteria by products. Save that. Next one will be the sales organization with sales org ID as a join criteria. Sorry. And by sales org. Save that. Last but not the least, the time dimension. Add association with the day, which is time dimension. So we put the date. Click on save. Done. So this is how we've created all the dimensions accordingly. We can preview the data as usual, and you can see the planned sales is coming. So on one side you have the actual sales, and on other side you have the planned sales. Let me keep both the windows side by side to actually show you the data preview to compare. So if I go to data preview for actual, on the right side I have actual data, and on the left side I have a planned data. So let me just only show for 2023 year. I will just exclude everything else. Just keep the year coming from the date dimension, attributes, add year to my calculation. So what is the total planned sales, actual sales for this year? And on the right side, we will also do the same thing, exclude everything from perspective and just go to dates and keep the year to perspective. So you can clearly compare now. It is actually fulfilling our requirement. So for the 2022, the planned sales was 29 billion and we achieved 51 billion. Wow. We overachieved, we double. And for this, it is 30 billion and we achieved 55 billion, which means company is doing very good. You can compare. But this is a manual comparison I'm doing. I want to do this comparison and project this data in Analytics Cloud. So to be able to combine two fact data model, this is one fact, this is second fact. You need to basically combine two fact to make a final model, and that is where we use consumption model. So consumption model will allow you to combine multiple fact data together. That is what it does. So that is something which we will do it in our next class, as I don't want to rush this topic. You can practice till here, and the next class I will show you creating consumption model to do this comparison. We can compare based on any dimension we want. In our requirement, we wanted to compare based on sales org and time. So we will be joining these two dimensions to create my consumption model. I will then create perspective on top of the consumption model according to the need and expose this to Analytic Cloud. You will see how Analytic Cloud can understand our consumption models, perspectives. And then we will talk about lineage analysis and repository explorer in Datasphere. Furthermore, I will discuss about catalog concept. So that these will be the three topics for the next episode. And then slowly we will get into integrations, how to expose your data over API to external world to build Android app, for example, how to also utilize the BW bridge. So we just have last three classes pending in this entire batch. I've already delivered more than what I promised to you as part of this as part of this training. All right, now it's time for your questions. I head over to you if you have any questions for today's session. Consumption model in Datasphere or SAC. Consumption model will be created in Datasphere and that will be then used in the SAC. Please wait for the next class. Replication flow in Data Builder is already covered. Yes, it was already covered. It's called data flows. Yes, you can just go ahead and check that. I cannot hear your voice, sir. There's something wrong with your audio. I am
Hi,
not able to
sir. Can you
hear.
hear me now?
Maybe you can talk now. Let me see.
Hello. Can
Yeah,
you hear
I
me,
can hear you
Anubhav?
now, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Anubhav, data flow, but in the data builder, we could see data flows and one more option as a replication flows, right? If you can open the data builder, please.
Okay, let me open.
Yeah.
Oh,
New
this one? Okay,
replication.
this I will cover.
Yeah.
Allow me some time. I'll cover that. It's easy, not difficult. We'll cover that.
Okay. Yeah. And yesterday I was asking a different question. Maybe I was asking about the data preview for a particular node. Can we analyze? Maybe is it okay? Can you open any graphical view? Any graphical view? Because I just want to, like in HANA, we use for investigation, right? Data preview on each and every node. We can filter it based on material, etc. So is it possible to validate it in that way? Let's say I want to see only India country for a particular node. I don't want to see all
Yes, we can.
data preview.
So we go here to any node and we can click this button
Okay.
to preview the data first. It will open the data preview at the bottom. Yes. And then in
S-
this preview, we perhaps will be able to apply filters, sorting and stuff like that. So system is telling it is going to take time. Okay, please take your time. And now once it opens like this, you can go back and do the filter. So I'm only
oh,
interested to see, for example, data in APJ. So I can filter APJ. It is better than HANA because you have all this stuff.
so we can aggregate it also here by some APIs we can aggregate.
No, for that you have to create the fact model.
Oh,
Like I showed you. In the fact model, you can aggregate. Here you see, in the fact model which we created, we are aggregating actually. It is aggregating all the data here, you see. The moment I choose year, it is aggregated sales for this year. If I choose any other criteria, maybe I just choose product group, for example, or maybe I choose sales org, it will aggregate based on sales org. So that for that you have to create the fact model. You see, it aggregated for
oh,
sales org. Total sales in each sales
um,
org. It is aggregating.
thanks, Anupam. And
Thank you.
one more question. While checking the architecture of DataSphere, there's something called Databricks. Is there any idea what is that?
No, not sure. If you can send me where you read that, I can just go through that and
Yeah,
come
yeah,
back to you.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll
You can,
email you.
yes, you
Yeah.
can email.
Anubhav,
Anubhav,
so
question from mine.
Go ahead, sir.
So actually, while creating YTD and LYTD, you have passed starting date as a hardcode value, 01/01/2023.
Hmm.
So, but for next year, it won't be a 23 for
Yes.
YTD
So
calculation.
for that,
So
you
to
can
make it
configure to
dynamic,
use you can use the current year concatenate with 01 and 01. So that also, so the idea is to show you what we can do. So you can create one more and you can just build a formula to basically create one more value for the date. Yes. And you can just concatenate. So you can say year, concatenate with. So year will always give you, this is a built-in function which will always give you current year.
okay,
And 1st January will
okay, got
remain
it, got
1st
it.
January always, right?
Yeah, actually, I was comparing with our function modules in the app. That's
Okay, okay. And then this attribute you can use in the formula easily.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anubhav, for the business builder, so you showed us a blog where this SAP is going to merge it with the other one,
Yeah,
right?
that blog
So
is
these
already, if you
functions
go
will
to
be,
PPT, in the slide 129 at the bottom, there is this link. Yeah. Go and
yeah.
check and read that blog. You will get a clear idea. or what exactly they are proposing.
Okay. So is it not like all the functions, whatever we saw in Business Builder, will be coming into the Analytic Builder, is it? I mean, I'll go through it. So future, is there SAP has confirmed anything or it's not yet?
It is confirmed, sir. So they are slowly going to replace the consumption model with analytic model as per their explanation.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Anuma.
Anubhav, any example of using a CDS view in DataSphere? At least a small example would be great.
Yeah, very
If
good
you could.
question. It's planned already.
Yeah,
It's
thanks a
planned
lot.
already. But we'll
Yeah,
see
and
if somebody cannot understand. And let me, in fact, okay, we'll cover that in the next class. Remind me if I forget that. We will cover that in the next class. Okay.
regarding the data marketplace, maybe since we are working on the real-time system, maybe what kind of data we could share to the data marketplace, because anyway it's a confidential things, right? When we work
It
on
is
the
not
real-time
confidential.
systems.
See, I told you an example of Gartner. Gartner is a research company. Their job is only to go to market and collect the information, right? That's what Gartner does. So if you're a Gartner as a company, you would always go and do research, and your main job of the company is to collect data and you sell that data. That's what that company does, right? So if you want to sell the data, then of course you can clearly understand that we want to make a sale of data. That's my main core business. So it is not sensitive. Maybe for your company, everything what you are working with is sensitive. In that case, you would not use this. So my goal as a trainer is to show you the features. If you want to use the feature, you can. If you don't want to use the feature, you cannot. You can skip it, right?
Sorry, one more last question from my
Yes,
end.
please.
Maybe while building a data flow, let's say we have some invalid character called hash coming from the source table.
Uh-huh.
Maybe DataSphere will throw an error, or is there any way in the Python we can, using a Python, we can correct the invalid character issue? Because in
So
BW we have some
unfortunately for
invalid character.
Python, there is no syntax check, but yes, data wrangling is always possible. We always have ability to do data wrangling in our company using Python or SQL script. So it depends on use case to use case. We cannot generalize that every data cleansing can be done with just pure Python. But yes, Python is a very powerful framework, the Pandas framework. It has lots of powerful capabilities for cleansing. Most cases I saw in my experience, actually DataSphere is a pretty new stuff. So with the limited experience available in the market with the customers I worked with, most of the cases, the Python was sufficient enough to do the data wrangling and data cleansing.
And yesterday, when you created an example for intelligent lookup for a certain table, you could able to do a data wrangling, right? Like something you are able to do in the table wise. But is it possible? Let's say invalid character is coming from a remote source. Let's say ABLN table, for example.
Okay.
Hash is coming. So can we directly in the remote table? Can we do the data wrangling, remove the hash character, and use it in the data flow and schedule the
No,
data
that
flow?
we cannot.
Since yesterday you created using a local table, you could able to do a data wrangling in the intelligent lookup.
Yes. So you can create a local table or replicated table, and on top of table you can do.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's say tomorrow a delta request are coming, which has some invalid character for a sales order number, for
Uh-huh.
example. In that one sales order number, there is something hash was there. Okay, and let's say data flow throw an error, like there is a hash coming in. So is it possible to at the table level, I mean the remote table now, since it is coming from different sources, can we do remove that hash and pass it to the target table in data flow?
So you cannot do in you have to go to remote system and do it there. Point one. Point two, we
Okay.
design data flow to do the exact same thing. What is data flow? You take the data from remote source, you cleanse it with Python, and then you store it in your tables. Yes, that is what data flow does, right? So your data flow will not give an error when you run it. What will give an error, or what will in fact nothing will give an error. What will not work is the joins, because of that extra hash key. So the practice is, first you create a data flow with the Python script to remove all the hash, and then once the data flow is successfully executed, after that you take the persistence table and join that persistence table in your view. Or option 2, use the intelligent lookup, so that that join will pass.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. All right. Thank you so much for your time today, everyone. I catch you up in the next episode. Have a nice day. Goodbye.